So last Friday, my friends invited me over for what they called a serious poker night. Now, I should mention that my experience with cards is limited to losing at Uno to my 7-year-old niece, but I figured, how hard could it be? I walked in, and everyone looked like they'd just watched a YouTube tutorial on how to look intimidating. There were chips in neat stacks, people shuffling cards with one hand, and even someone wearing sunglasses indoors. I thought, wow, they really take their snacks seriously, and immediately grabbed a handful of chips. Turns out, those weren't for eating. As the game started, they began tossing jargon around: big blind, river, flush. I tried to follow along, but honestly, the only flush I know is the one my goldfish expects when he's done with his business. Still, I wanted to fit in, so I watched carefully, nodded sagely, and did what any novice would do. I waited for my turn, then confidently slapped down a pair of threes and declared, "Go fish." The table went silent. My friend Dave stared at me like I just announced I was running for local office on a platform of mandatory clown shoes. But what really threw them off was my next move. I started dealing extra chips to everyone and said, "Let's make it more fun. If you don't have the card I ask for, you have to call your neighbor and invite them over. Full house wins, right?" Suddenly, people were scrambling for their phones, the doorbell was ringing every 5 minutes, and soon the living room was filled with confused neighbors holding solo cups, asking if this was a Tupperware party or an intervention. By the end of the night, the only thing anyone had won was a new group chat with half the cul-de-sac, and I finally understood what a full house was. Turns out, it's when your poker night turns into a block party because you thought the chips were for Go Fish and the full house meant you had to fill the house.